got a lot to say.
I thought we were kind of rambling on JP20.
Yeah, I thought it was longer than 4.5.
So we say 5 and J. Okay, Giants, Niners.
Giants. Is that the what you have?
Okay. Put something else. Oh yeah, yeah. Just put big G again. Big G.
All right, Vig. You know, as you
Super
can.
Bits.
Hey, today's a great day because you know what? Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, baby.
Super Bowl. Right.
Give me one.
Boom.
Super Bowl, baby.
Right here. G-Men. There you go.
New York Football Giants.
New York Football Giants heading to Super Bowl 46 in Indianapolis to play against the New England Patriots. But let's take it back. You know, that's
Whoa.
that's still 2 weeks away. Whoa. We're just a couple days away, a couple days ago from the big NFC Championship victory over the San Francisco 49ers. We have a long history with them. We've played them multiple times in the playoffs. I think this was our 7th time.
Big time history.
Giants versus 49ers.
Yeah, been a while though. I mean, you know, the 90s there was that one, unfortunately, where we collapsed in the second half. We had a huge lead. But in the 80s, we met and we clashed several times.
Oh yeah.
Candlestick.
Well, I mean, the Giants and the Niners were the two dominant NFC teams back then.
And the Giants probably kept the Niners in the 80s from being clearly the all-time greatest franchise. Because the Giants beat the Niners twice in Candlestick or in San Fran, where they were the last stop before the Niners would have made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, the Giants have beaten them
86
twice.
and 90.
Yep. So good.
But it could have been 2 more Super Bowls from that point.
Exactly. So we kept them a little bit down to earth.
Yep.
But let's talk about the 2011/2012 edition.
Let's do it.
You know, so tough game, overtime game in the pouring rain, which I think worked greatly against the Giants. Hurt our pass rush, hurt our passing game big time.
Didn't hurt the Niners pass rush.
Didn't.
Although I'll tell you what, hurt our pass rush, but I think we expect a lot. If you watch a lot of the analysts talk about and the experts talk about the game, they were talking about how well the Giants played in the conditions when it comes from a pass rush perspective. So I think we expected a lot, and we're like, where's the pressure on Smith?
Yeah.
If you look at Smith's day, he didn't have a good day.
Right.
He had 2 big plays, and he had a huge run.
Yeah.
But I think the Giants' pass rush was actually better than I know I gave him credit for at first blush.
They did, and it really kind of came on right around mid-third quarter. The Giants' D started to step it up. The pass rush was in the backfield. You know, any of the passes from Smith, he was scrambling, which is what led to those big runs.
Yeah.
Is because he was being forced out of the pocket nonstop by, I'll tell you, OC I think personally probably had the best game of our D linemen. So great for him. But you know, my issue, I am down a little bit.
He didn't grab that fumble recovery.
That's right, the one that bounced up and then bounced away. That was bad. I'll tell you, I just want to talk real quickly though. Seems like you're maybe a little bit of an apologist for him, but I'm kind of down on our offensive line right now. I thought they could have done better.
Yeah.
We did get a good number of blitzes from the Niners. There was that one big cornerback blitz that came in, and Eli was real rattled on that 1 3rd down play. But I thought they could have done better on the regular 4-man rushes.
Yeah.
We have to do better in the Super Bowl if we want to win that game.
Yeah, the Niners were getting a lot of push with just their front 4, which is a staple of the Giants. I mean, knock on wood, but I don't see the Patriots getting as much pressure with their front 4.
Agreed.
Even on a fast track. I think the Niners are one of those teams that they do everything very well, although they don't have a one dominant area except for the non-sexy area of defense against the rush.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the league, defense against the rush, which, Brandon, you're down on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm down on Brandon Jacobs.
Okay.
You can't get a first down when it's 3rd and inches, I'm sorry. And if you look at his attempts, he had like 6 attempts for about 23 yards.
Yeah.
Bradshaw was fighting, and it seemed like Jacobs was feeling his way.
I agree with that. I agree. You know, Jacobs, I think, was doing a little. Jacobs, yeah, I think you agree. A little dancing on eggshells, so to speak. Wasn't hitting the hole like he needed to, especially on the short yardage things. I mean, I almost wonder if we abandoned the run a little too early. We did run, I think, a little more than I thought we would early, but then we just got rid of it. Between the 2nd quarter and the 4th quarter, you know, early 4th, we didn't run at all.
Eli had 58 pass attempts.
Yes. And I
he
think
dropped back 60+ times.
At least give it a chance to develop. Yeah. And then I'll tell you why I think we gave up on it too early. You know, I'm going to give you a little example. Right at the very end, Kyle Williams, you know, he's returning that punt. Boom, we get the ball. This is in overtime. Yeah. You know, we get the ball back on the recovery, and we're at, what, the 25 or something like that. We got the ball.
Yeah.
we fed the ball to Bradshaw, really just a couple times to get us a couple yards closer, to get us in better position for the field goal. No, Bradshaw busted for like 6 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards. He was having his best rushes of the game when they're putting 8 people in the box, knowing that rushing attempt is coming.
He made it a chip shot.
Exactly. He made it even easier on plays where they should have stopped it for no gain every time because they knew we were going to rush. So if we could have done it then, why couldn't we have done it earlier in the game if we worked into it? We weren't going to pass there.
I thought that we would beat them up. I know why we didn't do it more in the first half. In theory, I thought that you need, because the defense is fresh, I think you need to do it in the first half, meaning do it being more rushing attempts in the first half, so that by the second half, and we were texting about this, the Niners would be softened up, they'd be a little bit beat up, and that's why I was a little bit down on Jacobs, because we've seen him tippy-toe it and eggshell it at the line of scrimmage, but in the last couple weeks in the playoffs, he's been hitting the line hard.
Yes.
Even if there's a wall in front of you, hit somebody.
Yeah, you know, and Jacobs, he's playing for a contract, if you ask me. It's pretty well known that he's not the biggest fan of the New York fans, so he's probably going to be playing somewhere else next year. Yeah. And, you know, last game, had we lost that probably was Brandon Jacobs, would have been Brandon Jacobs' last game in New York.
Same for OC.
Yep, same for OC. So those guys need to put on a show. OC did it, Jacobs did not. Yeah. He has another big stage, the biggest stage of them all, to do it in 2 weeks, but will he do it? I don't know.
On a fast track, and I feel like even though he should be a mutter, he's more of a fast track guy.
He is a fast track guy. Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy. He's not fast, but he likes having that full grip and letting his whole body weight hit somebody, as opposed to slipping around on the mud.
He wants to let the play develop and then see what secondary guy he can hit versus trying to hit the defensive lineman who outweigh him by 50 pounds.
Right. I mean, let's wrap this up before it gets too long, but I just want to talk about the kind of the overtime portion of the game.
Yeah.
You know, going into overtime, I actually felt pretty good because I felt like our defense was taking control, and that game could have went another 4 quarters, and I don't think the 49ers were going to score at all. So it kind of fell how I thought it was going to fall. I didn't think it would be a fumble that we picked up to get us the win. I thought, you know, Eli would be able to pull us to a little bit of a drive, a 30, 40-yard drive to get us in field goal range. Yeah. But I'll take it, and I did start to feel confident with the way our defense was playing come the overtime period.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it objectively and not in the heat of the moment, Eli had a pretty Herculean effort of a game. 58 passes, 64 dropbacks if you include the times he was sacked. He carried not only the Giants' offense, but really the time of possession. So basically the overall team on his back because he gave the defense a breather. 58 pass attempts, 64 dropbacks, no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions in wet conditions against one of the best defenses in the league. Eli. So I waited to, I almost posted the Eli as an elite quarterback.